Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hi, and welcome to episode 240 of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, Editor-in-Chief of Total Retail. Joining me today is Lexy Onofrio, Vice President, Brand Marketing Strategy and Creative at Lane Bryant, a leading retailer of plus-size clothing for women. We're going to be discussing what Lane Bryant is doing in its stores to improve its customer shopping experiences, particularly through the use of technology. We're also going to look at the brand's focus on diversity and inclusion. Thanks for joining me, Lexy.
Joe, thank you for having me today.
So let's start by talking a little bit, as I alluded to in the opener there, about why Lane & Bryant has invested resources in trying to improve the in-store shopping experience for its customers.
So we've really taken a step back to recognize some of the challenges that the brand has had over the years and just our obvious retail landscape. And really this mandate came from our customer, and she was super clear about what she was wanting from us, or what she was really wanting from her shopping experience. We're not the only plus brand anymore out there, so the competition is fierce, and we needed to make sure that we were still connected with her. So within our store experience and the need to ensure that we improve it and that we have the resources behind it, we really went and interviewed and ensured that we were taking the time to listen to what she was wanting from the experience altogether. So we are a specialty retailer, and what you find is plus size across lifestyle and across a myriad of sizes from 12 to 28, including intimates. And we needed to make sure that we could offer her this in an environment that she was comfortable in. So being able to meet her needs, to really inspire her, ensure that this brand is for her, and ensure that the experience that we were offering her connected to everything else that we were doing across the brand, especially on the digital platform today.
So I think it'd be good for context. A couple questions here. One, tell us a little bit about the retail footprint that Lane Bryant has. And then two, you talked about that customer. Maybe some information about who the Lane Bryant customer is. Obviously, it's probably going to be women, but all spans maybe their age range. Tell us a little bit about the core customer for the brand.
Absolutely. So we're about 700 stores nationwide. And like I said, we really do focus on just plus size for women. And we range from sizes 12 to 28. And we also have an intimates line called Cacique, which is available in 92 sizes. So we really consider ourselves the fit experts since 1904. And we don't just grade clothing up, we actually fit it to these range of sizes and what we offer her. The customer herself, she's a modern woman living in today's multifaceted world. And we know that she is, really focused on ensuring that she's comfortable. That's one of the big things that we hear from her all the time. And fit is number one for her body shape, and that it fits right for what she needs and for her curves. So really trying to ensure that this multi-dimensional woman that we have, sweet spot around 42, she's full between work. I would say the majority of the file, she's definitely has children, and she is a busy woman. So being able to take care of her is really saving her time, and that matters to her. It matters to be part of a community. It matters that we are representing ourselves as her specialty brand and ensuring that we're dressing her for all of her occasions.
So Lane Bryant has really put a focus on personalization and diversity initiatives, and this extends to its stores. So can you talk a little bit about why those areas have been made a priority for the company?
Yeah, so since, one of the things that we always kind of reference back to is our original founder, Lena. And, there is no other brand that can really say that was started by women even before women had the right to vote, and was amazing about the heritage and the story. It's woman founded, it's a woman-led brand. And she was a pioneer in her day, and it was all about fit and fashion. And so being able to create fashion for an underserved market, she first started with maternity clothing. She was an entrepreneur in her day and really saw the opportunity to serve a plus size customer. And we always just reference back to this pioneer story that she led, and in the fashion industry where no one else was doing it. And we want to make sure that we're still leading, and we're all about women's empowerment and encouraging the customer to, and what we use as our mantra is to create her lane. And we want to root for her rise, but we want to be there to make sure that when we think about the diversity and personalization for her and what it means to her, is making sure that we understand her fully, from the challenges of, entering into a bridge size, which is what we call a 14. And it may be a first time for her, or it may have been something that, she's always been this size. But being able to ensure that we're referencing that with our photography, with our marketing, how we're speaking to her, how we're fitting, how we're showing up for her in a store is really important. We launched brand new mannequins that are actual plus size mannequins in several skin tones, where it does represent the diversity of our customer. And we're actually the first retailer to do this, so she can see herself in this brand and see herself easily.
Yeah, that's a good lead into my next question. You talked about, the importance of showing up and being, for her in store. So let's talk about some of the innovations that Lane Bryant has introduced in its retail stores. You briefly alluded to the plus size mannequins that you've recently rolled out. Anything else in addition to that, or maybe you want to give us a little more background on that initiative?
Yeah, so we're so excited, because through the journey of being able to really dig in deep and listen to her, so not only listen to her through our consumer insights, but also physically being in store and experiencing some of her pain points, we really focus on quite a few areas in being able to deliver this to her. So one of them is really inspiring her, and how we want to do that is we've just launched a personal stylist program in about 70 locations, and soon rolling out to about 200 locations, where you can actually book an appointment through our site or through the store, 30, 60, 90-minute styling sessions with our fit experts. And we've gone through a rigorous training in stores as well to ensure that all of our associates are now personal stylists, and they're actually certified to be able to do fits and to be able to get to know her, to show her the versatility of what she can do with her wardrobe. The other program was also our new mannequin program, which I alluded to. And so it's the first of its kind. Again, it comes in different skin tones. And we're really excited about how the clothing truly fits on these ladies. And again, you can see yourself when you walk into one of our environments. More lifestyle branded photography. So again, being able to capture herself in a moment, in a candid moment, and how she is dressed for her day, and being able to project that in a store environment was really important for us to make sure that she can connect with the lifestyle that we're projecting itself. The other area we focused on was comfort. And so what was really great about this is ensuring, and comfort means a lot of things. It's comfort in our clothing, it's comfort in the shopping experience, it's comfort when you walk into the store, that there is room for you to get through, that everything's not jammed on a rack, that the experience is curated. It feels like it's curated just for you. It feels like a master closet that you walk into. So we spent a lot of time ensuring that the collections are right, that what we are really presenting is what we want her to showcase. And also, we're starting to navigate her online. There's so much more and so many more choices to choose, that we're also having that conversation. If you don't like what you see, we have more. We have stylists that can bring you to and curate more collections for you. We have iPads that are in the stores now, where we can actually share the online collection and be able to shop right through the iPad. We have a brand new fitting room experience, so we have larger rooms. We also decided to design the fitting room with a more open space, so it feels more collaborative on the floor and not closed off in the back of the store. We have brand new seating, 3-way mirrors. We have charging stations inside of the fitting rooms. And best of all, our customer told us that she gets really hot while she's trying clothes on, and it's one of the things that she actually stresses about coming in and being able to get fitted. But we added bandoliers into every one of our fitting rooms, and these are all adjusted, so she can put it at whatever speed she would like. So as she's trying her clothes on, we've made the environment very comfortable for her. And like I said, it's very individualized, and she feels like it's just for her. And then the last thing we launched was for convenience. It's called our Express Lane. And this is really a separate area in the store, purposely put by the fitting room area, and it's a pickup location. Our customer loves to send the packages and pick them up at the store because she wants to open it and she wants to try it on right away. So the stylist can help you, but we've navigated her to a whole separate section of the store as it's a little bit more embedded into the fitting room area, and she's absolutely taking advantage of this and loving it.
So those are some great examples of what Lane Bryant is doing to make its stores more of an experience for its shoppers, and less of just a place where product is held and transactions take place. But you're really trying to create this experience for women that are coming in to shop in your stores. So you've talked a little bit about what the customer wanted. So I'm interested in kind of the role that customer feedback had in some of these new initiatives that you've rolled out. Kind of tell us a little bit about the process for gathering that customer feedback. How were you speaking with these customers, and the role that they played in what the new Lane Bryant store looks like?
So she was really number one. I mean, hands down, this was, before we jumped in and just did a paint job and changed the environment, we wanted to make sure that we got very intimate with her. So not only did we interview customers that have been with the brand for decades, but we also went out and interviewed customers that may not be shopping with us and kind of trying to understand the whys behind it. We also interviewed customers that potentially have fallen out of the brand and tried to really understand what is it that she's looking for. So we really went after all customer segments to understand the pain points. The interesting thing is the pain points came back very similar across all of the customer segments themselves. So we did a lot of extensive consumer research, interviews, as well as spent a lot of time in the environment. So I think it's important. Each environment's a little bit different on where they belong. If it's a mall environment or your local community shopping center, and really wanted to spend time. The head of stores was really a large part of the voice on behalf of the store associates, and making sure that we were interviewing them and understanding the store design is also meant so an associate can easily navigate a customer. We want to be able to make sure that we're saving her time and that she's in there, she's getting the service that she needs, but respecting the fact that, she's in, she's out, and making it easy for her. So there was quite an extensive amount of, about a year and a half of really ensuring that we were getting to know before we went into this project. And we tweaked it to the last detail, to the last day that we opened that location, sure that we really had everything that she was asking for and more.
So you've done your, your research here in the kind of phase, the early phase of the project, and find out what your customers want, and then you kind of move into the implementation. All right, let's then build out the stores to what we've heard from our customers. The next step then is obviously implementation and seeing how your customers are interacting with it, and then measuring, how these innovations are impacting the customer experience in store, and ultimately, how are they impacting the business? Can you talk a little bit about that in terms of that last leg, in terms of measuring the impact that you're seeing?
Sure. I mean, this will be key to the future, to the impact of what we need to be able to do with 700 locations, with a fleet of stores that have been around for a really long time. And we know we need to reinvest, but we want to make sure we're making the right reinvestment, that it's not just about, like I said, a paint job in a store. That's easy and everyone can do that, but making sure that we're taking into account what she's asking for. So, although I can't share specifics on financials, I can definitely share that all attention is on this. So There's measurable tactics on, how many appointments are we booking online, and the customers using the ability of this technology to be able to preset already a time for herself, as well as our ship to store station. So that's something that is definitely actionable and measurable to understand how we're utilizing the square footage in our stores for this special place. It's closet, it's a register, there's definitely a transaction that can happen there. And then really how we're using the square footage. So the two most recent locations that we've opened are definitely smaller square footage than the rest of the fleet. And we're really maximizing everything that we can within the location, but it's not about jamming the product out. It's really making sure that we're navigating her on all of the touch points and all of the channels that we have. This is just one part of the financials and what we need to make sure that we're delivering and measuring.
By integrating the digital part of the business with the offline, in terms of the personalized styling service that women are setting up appointments online and then coming in store, and then just in general making the stores a more comfortable, inviting experience for your customers. How does that translate? What are some of the business benefits that you hope to see from those efforts? I would imagine making a better experience, driving more traffic into stores, and then ultimately converting on that traffic is probably the business goals there. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I mean, yes, traffic, of course, and really engagement. It's like engagement with the brand. There's still a plethora of opportunity to make sure that what we deliver to the customer is a place that she feels is unique in herself. And in the plus market, there's not many places that she can go in and say, this is specialized just for me. The typical market today is either at the back corner of a store, and she still experiences that today. So for us to be able to make sure that we are delivering this for her, and not only through experience, but connecting the story, connecting how we message to her either socially or how we engage with her through emails, really trying to ensure that we're leveraging every facet that we have across the brand, and letting her know that whatever you choose to do, if it's through an email, through an online, you have an event, you need a stylist, you need a bra fitting, we're here for you. And we're here for you in many locations, and we're here online. We have a contact center that also is very well versed in being able to share the collection and our services as well. So wanting to make sure that we're connecting all of those touch points consistently.
So my final question, Lexy, is having just kind of being in the middle of this process and interested in any advice you might have for other retailers that are looking to kind of improve the in-store experience for their customers, takeaways that you've had, and maybe some learnings that you might be able to share with our audience.
Absolutely. Really, going through this, it's paramount that you continuously speak to the customer. That was really the number one thing. And not only speak to her, but really, really listen. Listen to her. Listen to the associates. They pretty much have a lot of the answers before you even get to that. What is it that she wants? How does she want the store represented? What's going to engage with her? So it's not just about the transaction in the location, but it's the transaction for the entire company. Apply those learnings and do what's right for the brand and for her through every touch point. Because the brand, at any level that she touches it, it is the portal. It's the portal to what she experiences and the decision on if she will come back or not.
Great. Well, that's some well put and some great advice for our audience. So I want to take this opportunity to thank Lexy Onofrio of Lane Bryant for joining me today. Please check out our podcast channel page, mytotalretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher. But make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. Also, please take the time to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and I look forward to you joining us on the next episode of Total Retail Talks.